What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about it. This is the truth behind the, I wouldn't say beef, I would just call it situation with Death Row Records and No Limit Records. You know, well, you can call it a beef, because it should take everything very personal. Now, when this kicked off, this is when Tupac and Death Row was going through a lot of problems. Meaning that once Tupac's demise happened, Suge Knight had run into a lot of legal problems stemming from that night and had to be incarcerated, and the company was being ran by people that he trusted, his wife and everybody else, making business deals to make things happen. No Limit at the time was putting out tapes, and what they would do was theme themselves after NWA. You know, since NWA wasn't out, when they first came out and they were true, and their theme and pattern was behind NWA. And they wanted to make one of those in Louisiana. Master P had the vision. That's why they would take like Easy Does It album and do songs like all the songs. They just basically did them over with their type of beats. But the whole thing was that walked in, said this is a robbery. I don't need the money. It's just a hobby. You know, all those, no more questions, all of them. You know, they redid those songs, you know, and kept putting them out there so people would be a little bit familiar with them. But the distribution hadn't gotten to where they wanted it to be just yet, but they were growing. And with the demise of Tupac, Death Row Records ran into all kind of problems with trying to keep structure and people trying to run off with masters, and it was just a big mess. Suge ended up fighting a court case right after that, getting incarcerated shortly after, so he was removed from the scene. All this content is coming out from Tupac, and Tupac this, and Tupac that, and the Machiavelli album comes out. So, you know, everything is Tupac at the time. So he was everywhere. And what happened was, after this, Master P, his eyes light up. So instead of doing all this Eazy-E, NWA type stuff, you know, everybody is looking and sounding, and his sound started sounding more like Tupac. And all these songs they recording is sounding like Tupac. His brother, C Murder, his rap style now is more sounding like Tupac. And then he names his hit song, Is There a Heaven for a Gangster? Gangster, gangster, is there a heaven for a G? So everything was dedicated to Tupac. Tupac was this, because he saw the markability of the wave of this is the way to go. So they were trying to poach any artist from Death Row to get with the team because of what they were doing. So it wasn't like they just went to Snoop. They tried to get the Dog Pound. They tried to get everybody to come on over to No Limit Records. And that's when Death Row got involved, and it was going to go down. And they didn't realize Master P had amassed so much power at that time, because the song had become so powerful that when they put the song out on the soundtrack of Rhyme and Reason, it was able to go worldwide. So Master P was able to get a lot of exposure in the Midwest, East Coast, West Coast. It was everywhere. So that changed the spectrum for No Limit Records. by that song being hit, it started getting plays on BET now, and the song was in demand, and they had a good platform for distribution. So here come everybody involved, the whole team and the street teams, and death threats is being sent. They come to Cali and do a show, or they do anything. So P made some calls, and they had a good terminology with a couple of the mutual friends, and let's just say the protection was there for Master P. He ain't have to worry about a lot. And then it was easier for Snoop to make that jump. While the rest of them like, I ain't going. Snoop got paid. Snoop was like, look, I ain't making no money. I'm making the jump right now while I can. And he was gone. So when he went over there to No Limit Records, you know, he was getting his money. Now after that, Death Row and them had a lot of run-ins in the streets, like coming to shows, people trying to shoot up the show in one venue that they had, and it was like Snoop gonna perform, and they was like, I guarantee you Snoop ain't performing in. We gonna find this hotel, we gonna do this and that. Buddy, boy, when I tell you Master P made a phone call, and then I tell you that it was like military men showed up. Everybody in camis, big dudes, skinny white guys in all black with 223, AK-47, AR-15 assault rifles. It's not a joke. P had that kind of protection on the streets. AR-15 rifles. People talking on walkie-talkies through their shoulders, through their collar, like, it's clear. Cleared. This group back. Bring everybody in. Caught. That's how I knew. I said, whoa. They got some power. They don't have to worry about nothing. If you got that kind of power, you cool. And they had the green light to do everything at this time. And then once Biggie died, that was it. That was it. It was nothing to stop No Limit Records for taking over. And they did. They took over everything because they was all over the place. They had all this work coming out. The tank, the tank, the tank. So 1998 was nothing but 97, 98, Master P. Forget it. Hands down, the tank. You was not finna get away from that tank. And it kind of died off because Death Row was not in a position where they could fight with No Limit Records. So they was trying to extend their arm out to everybody else, but other people weren't in the right situation to go over to No Limit Records. And then No Limit Records fell into their own hard times. And since we're doing it, we'll make it one video. We'll talk about the breakup of No Limit Records too. Because it was very shortly after this that everybody started to leave towards like the end of 1999. And it had nothing to do with Cash Money Records. Okay? But since it ties in all together, well, let's just do it then and get it all out the way. Here we go. It was a dark Monday morning. Nah, I'm just kidding.